Hey guys, and welcome to New India Junction 101. I'm your host Priyanka. And I'm very excited about today's video, and here's why. I've studied at the University of Illinois, the University of Southern California, the London School of Economics, and Harvard, and all four of these institutions emphasized and valued one thing, and that one thing is leadership, both during the application process and while I spent my time studying there, interning, collaborating on group projects. It separated the star students from the average graduates, even at Harvard. As you may be writing essays, studying, reading, or preparing for interviews, leadership, and I'm talking about effective leadership, is an important part of your success as a student and an intern. While you may have seen plenty of cliché articles and videos on leadership qualities, what may be better for you to know is how the world's greatest leaders define leadership in their own lives. I did some research on them, and their thoughts on leadership are actually pretty unique, especially the last one. That's what I wanted to share with you today. So let's take a look on leadership by leaders. Number 1, Abraham Lincoln, who is the 16th President of the United States of America. He considered emotional empathy a crucial part of being a leader, and it showed in his career. While President Abraham Lincoln was known for building relations with his electorate, citizens could visit his office from the very first day. His emotional intelligence was so good that during the American Civil War, Lincoln even formed a cabinet that comprised of political rivals that he needed to rely on. During his presidency, Lincoln reunited the USA after the Civil War, delivered the Emancipation Proclamation, and abolished slavery. From Lincoln, we can learn emotional empathy and the importance of keeping the respect of even your rivals. Number 2 is Swami Vivekananda. He had a very out-of-the-box take on leadership. When I read it, I was actually like, wait, what? Swami Vivekananda said to lead like a baby. Well, what does that mean? In a letter to one of his core disciples, Swami Vivekananda said, and I quote, "The best leader is one who leads like a baby." The baby, though they are dependent on everyone, is the king or the queen of the household. By this, he meant many people feel, but only a few can express effectively. And it's the power of expressing one's love and appreciation and sympathy for others, like how you would to a baby, without expecting anything in return. But normally, when you do give your love to a baby, the baby eventually calms down and shows its happiness to you. In the same way, expressing to your peers and colleagues in the right way, or leading like a baby, enables great leaders in spreading ideas. Pretty cool, right? Now, let's take a look at one of today's most successful entrepreneurs on the planet. Number 3 is co-founder of Microsoft, Bill Gates, who says that this one habit separates successful leaders from everyone else. If you want to become a leader or a better leader, Gates has said, and I quote, "As we look ahead to the next century, leaders will be those who empower others." And to empower teams to innovate and produce great work, Gates recommends allowing people to fail, creating opportunities for people to thrive, embracing opposing viewpoints objectively, and sharing leadership in decision-making power. What about our female leaders? Let's have a look. Number 4 is former Britain Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, who linked conviction with leadership. Born in 1925, Thatcher was first elected to the House of Commons in 1959 and was made a junior minister. While there was always political buzz around her issues, there was no dispute that Thatcher was a strong leader who knew exactly what she stood for. She said, and I quote, "I'm not a consensus political, I'm a conviction politician." Today's employers, professors, and schools are looking for convicted leaders, or those that innovate against convention and stand true to their belief system. This is especially relevant and makes some college and postgrad application statements of purpose stand out above the rest. This creates impact. There's nothing stand out about you if you live your life going with the crowd. Back to Thatcher, following a successful leadership bid for the Conservative Party in 1975, Thatcher was elected Britain's first female Prime Minister in 1979 and would hold office for the next 11 and a half years. Number 5 is Nobel Peace Prize winner and activist Martin Luther King Jr., who spoke about unarmed truth. In his Nobel Prize acceptance speech, King said that he was conflicted in accepting a prize for peace when the movement to end discrimination for African Americans was still not resolved at the time. But he came to this conclusion, and I quote, "I accept this award today with an abiding faith in America and an audacious faith in the future of mankind. I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality." And this conclusion of his could not be more accurate. African Americans led nonviolent protests which resulted in meaningful and lasting change that remains to date. We've looked at leaders who eventually became famous after spending years in their careers, but what about those that became leaders at a young age? Number 6, take former Australian cricket captain and commentator Richard Bennard, born in 1930. He said and focused on skill, and on it he said, and I quote, "Captaincy is 90% luck and 10% skill, but don't try it without that 10%. Bennard was just 34 years old when he retired from international cricket in 1964. He used his knowledge and skill set to become one of the most well-known commentators of the game. In fact, he used his skill set to continue his success even when his mainstream career was over. It didn't just stop at age 34, and he used this skill set so effectively that he became world-renowned for his commentary. Number 7 is founding father of the United States of America, Benjamin Franklin. Besides his scientific successes, Franklin was known for many other things, and there was a reason for it. This is because he was living proof of constant curiosity. Franklin only had 2 years of formal schooling, yet he constantly strived to improve himself. He taught himself to read Spanish, French, Italian, and Latin. Many civic projects were proposed by Franklin, including street lighting, police departments, a library, and a city hospital. He wrote a wide-reaching almanac and had a thriving political career as well. Oh yes, he also confirmed electricity among his many other scientific achievements. Number 8 is the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Besides his oratory skills, among other things, one important lesson one can take away on leadership from PM Modi is his long-term energy. One of the most important and noticeable qualities in PM Modi, even when he was not the Prime Minister, is his intense passion for his work. A recent article just a few weeks ago said that instead of wasting money on hotels, Modi showers at airports during layovers. When you're enthusiastic about your work, you're willing to work for free. And when does this matter? When there are tough times and unpaid internships, those that succeed are able to persist because they love it. I was in an unpaid internship, but I love journalism and putting pieces together, so I didn't mind doing the work. And the result, a few of the pieces that I compiled as an intern went on national air. The sad truth is that most people settle for work. They don't love what they do. If you're serious about becoming an extraordinary leader like PM Modi, you must express intense energy and enthusiasm in what you do. So may as well choose something that you like, regardless of how risky, underpaid, or unconventional it is. You'll be able to have long-term energy if you love it. So there you have it, things to keep in mind about leadership as you study, write essays, or go for those internship interviews. Number 1 is emotional empathy from Abraham Lincoln. Number 2 is leading like a baby from Swami Vivekananda. Number 3 is empowering others like Bill Gates. Number 4 is conviction by Margaret Thatcher. Number 5 is the unarmed truth by MLK Jr. Number 6 is skill building by Richard Bennard. Number 7 is constant curiosity from Ben Franklin. And number 8 is long-term energy from Prime Minister Modi. Now you can go forth, succeed, and conscientiously add some of these leadership traits, those that leaders themselves follow, into your daily life. For New India Junction, this is Priyanka signing off.